many of the private telecom companies in our country and asked them for information, data. The government said they were legally justified to it. They wanted to see if there was a nexus between international terrorists and some phone calls made back here to the United States. You have been very outspoken about giving those companies immunity from any kind of prosecution, even though they were doing what the government asked them to do. Senator Jay Rockefeller, the ranking Democrat on Senate Intelligence, has a view much different from yours. This is what Rockefeller says. We recognize that private companies who receive legal assurances from the highest levels of government should not be dragged through the courts for their help with national security. The onus is on the administration, not the companies, to ensure that the request is on strong legal footing. And if it's not, it's the administration that should be held accountable. Why are you going after these companies for doing what they thought was in the public interest?
Well, because not all of them did. There were companies that didn't comply with that request. They said, give us a court order and we'll turn over documents. The court order was never forthcoming here. These companies have very strong, good legal departments here. The idea that companies would turn over thousands, if not millions, of private records of individuals without a court order is an invasion of that privacy, in my view. There's a way to do this, a legal way to do this. They decided not to do it. They decided they were going to turn over these records without any court order whatsoever. That is dangerous, in my view. There's been a consistent pattern by this administration to basically trample on the constitutional rights of people. We've seen it from the very beginning here. That's a great concern to me, Tim. I'm probably spending more time in this campaign talking about that than any other candidate. As I pointed out earlier, when you raise your right hand and take the oath of office, you swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And I think we're being asked a false dichotomy. The dichotomy goes something like this. In order to be safer, we're going to have to give up some rights. I think that's a very dangerous proposal here, and too many people are succumbing to it, and I refuse to do so here. If you're turning over these documents without a court order, Lord only knows what's in these documents, how much information is there. It seems to me that if you do that, then you have to pay a price for doing so, in my view. So I'm going to vehemently oppose legislation here that would go forward. There are other good parts of this bill. Jay Rockefeller and Kit Bond have done a good job, in my view, with the FISA legislation generally. But the idea you give retroactive immunity to some companies who decided to succumb to the administration's request, those that did not, in the sense, have been, I'm told by some, have paid a price financially because they wouldn't step up to the plate and do what the administration asked them to do. Habeas corpus.
What price did they pay?
Well, economically, there's been some talk about Quest has suffered economically.
How?
Well, there's certain contracts and others that they've suffered from. That's the reports.
You mean the government punished them?
That's what we've heard.
Can you prove that?
Well, those are the allegations out there. And again, I point out to you, not all companies followed that request. They said, look, give us a court order. That's a basic requirement in these kind of things.